Thank you, my man, for letting me get that triple C4 off. Anytime you get a triple C4, there's about a 20% level of skill, which involves you actually throwing the C4. There's about 80% level of just pure luck that somebody is there. Alright, man, Freestyle Friday. Hope y'all having some fun. It's your boy Marcos. I digress about my C4 talk for now. Let's hop right in at the topic at hand. We're playing some Domination right here on Meltdown. We got some of the crew right here. We got Brian, we got Christian, I think we got Usani. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody or I didn't add anybody. Christian might not actually be in this game. I think it just might be it might just be me. It might just be me, Brian, and Usani. I think that's who's playing this game. This guy right here is gonna try to pop me. No sir, but his boy got me. Alright. So I want to talk to you guys about something in this video. It's talking about switching classes. Now, do you see right here playing Dom on Meltdown? I haven't really played Dom on Meltdown, to tell you too much. A handful of times I've probably been on it. And I'm thinking, I'm going with Domination. What I need to do is rock this PDW. Now, normally in this map, I use either an LMG or when I'm working on, getting them gold, or I use an assault rifle when I'm trying, to go a little bit beast mode right here. Instead, I use the PW. I was like, you know what? I'll use a submachine gun because I'm going to be going in and out of places real quickly. I'm going to be hopping on Bravo and defending it and shooting people, and I need 50 bullets and No. You got to do, first off, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm comfortable in this map with assault rifles. Stick with it. Adjust your class. There's no doubt about it. Adjust your class to whatever, if you got certain perks right here, for example, you might want to run attack mass on this. You might want to run a hard wire to throw a lot of BMPs, if you're throwing a lot of flashes, attack mass. If you see a lot of equipment, maybe you want to run an engineer, maybe you want to run a tactical mass class as well. Adjust that, but don't completely adjust your game to a level that you're uncomfortable with. And I did not see that guy to my right. And that and the riot shield killer I got on Monday, which I'll make sure I annotate that below. I think it was this Monday with the Scorpion and yeah. Oh man. Those are the two of the most humbling deaths you'll ever see on my channel. That was just sad how I didn't see that, man. And when I watched this game over, but when I was, jotting down some notes to talk about, man, that guy just annihilates me there with the dual BRs. Thank God they patched them, right? Yeah. Anyway, switching though classes in between games. A lot of people are very stubborn. And what I mean is, they'll pick a class at the beginning of the game. They'll say, this is my class for this game. This is gonna work. Halfway through the game, you're getting your ass handed to you, and you're still using that class, and you're still telling yourself that this is gonna work. That's the definition of insanity, my friends. When you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and you expect different results, yeah, man, that is not gonna happen. Sorry, Husani, for letting you pass away right next to me. I tried to kill him as quickly as I could, but it's okay though. Here comes the triple C4 if you didn't see it the first time. Woo! And they're all on the flag too, so that was beautiful. It's one thing about throwing C4, especially in Dom, man, when you hear it losing B, just chuck it. Odds are something's gonna die. Except for when you lightning strike this spawn, then it's not that good. And this guy just loves this left corner right here. If you notice that red dot right there, like try again. He just loves that corner right there. Got ourselves a V-set. There we go. And now I'm working. I couldn't do this with the PDW. There's no way I'd be able to hold down this long line of sight, keeping them in their spawn right there, adding us our points up here over Bravo because they can't even get to it. No way I could have pulled that one off. Maybe I could have pulled this one off a little bit better, but the ones I was doing before, no way. And it's all about adapting. It's all about changing. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you changing your streaks or change. I mean, you can't change your streak, but changing your setup halfway through the game. You don't want to determine everything you do based on the enemy. At some point, you want to impose stuff on your enemy. For example, I'm not going to take C4 off, just, because I think it might be better off using another tactical. No. I'm going to keep C4 on and force the enemy to put flat jacket on, force them to change in that regard. But if they're constantly bombarding you with flashbangs and EMP grenades, yeah, you might want to put a hard wire. You might want to put a attack mask on. You're not proving anything by being tough over here if you just die. And same thing with in class, in between changing classes in between game, changing classes between the game. You're not proving anything by I wasn't gonna prove anything by rushing out there and dying a ton of times in my PDW. Now I did make the switch. I made the adjustments to the Type 25. We have a much better game with the Type 25. Oh man, this thing is falling. My room is like falling apart right now. Also, sometimes it's just mental. And in sports, for example, when you're looking at, for example, a playoff series, it's all about the adjustments. You know, they always say it's all about the adjustments that the coach makes from game to game. Not necessarily getting rid of your identity. You know, if you're like a team that likes to shoot 3-pointers, you're all of a sudden not going to not shoot 3-pointers. But if you're playing against a team that's really good at defending the 3, maybe you might want to take some shots closer to the rim. You know what I'm saying? In football, you know, the first half you were running the ball, you weren't going anywhere with it. Maybe in the second half you're going to try to throw the ball. Same thing goes with Call of Duty. If you're playing, for example, team Domination, let's say I stuck the whole half right here at Domination with the PDW, and I was doing bad with it. There's no point in me rushing out there and using the PDW again another half. We already saw what we were going to do with that. No, switch over to a class that you feel more comfortable with. Switch over to a class, you know, that adapts more to what the enemy's doing. If the enemy's staying farther away, longer lines of sight, go with a long-range weapon. If the enemy's all rushing over on Bravo, maybe you want to go with the shotgun. Maybe you want to go with something to keep you close and dip and dodge in between there. Take into account your play style. Take into account the enemy's play style, which is tough to sometimes to notice. Because, you know, the enemy sometimes changes, especially, like, for example, let's say if you're doing good, which is the opposite of doing bad. If you're doing good, for example, your enemy's going to change. You know, people are going to leave the game and new people are going to come in. And that's, to me, always my biggest difficulty, my biggest gripe with when people leave the game and they put new people in. It's like a completely different game. You don't know what's going on. Because with new people come new play styles. So maybe the guys before them, they didn't use bouncing betties. But these guys in now, they use 2 bouncing betties every lifetime. They throw them all over the place. That's a big adjustment that you got to make. And I don't think it's fair for you to, like, have to make that adjustment halfway through the game when, you know, it wasn't your fault that the other guys left, but it's the game we play. So we managed to push these guys over here to one side right now. We've managed to hold on Bravo for, you know, the end of last round, the beginning of this round. And part of it is because of this adjustment I made here with the Type 25. I'm getting a lot more kills, I'm doing a lot more damage, I'm keeping people a lot further away, which is what I want to do, and a lot further away from the objective, which is also what I want to do. Don't let them even get close to Bravo. They're not going to cap if they get close to it. And that right there, my friends, is the power of the final bullet. And I leave Bravo there as my teammate's going to go pick it up. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to go kill these guys over here. I got the escort drone. I don't know what this man was doing. It looks like he was praying. My apologies if you were praying. I mean, I'm all for prayer, bro, but maybe you want to do that at a different point that's not in the middle of the Call of Duty game. Also, sometimes I make the change just mental. You hear this in sports too, you know. Sometimes you just, for example, trying to think. Oh, and baseball. That's a big part of baseball, you know. You just give a guy a couple of days off just, you know, mentally to get himself back in a better spot. Not that he's hurt or anything. He just hasn't been doing too good. Give him a little break, mental break, so he could refocus and come back stronger. Same thing with the guns in Call of Duty, bro. Maybe I am having my setup and I'm using the setup that I normally use in this map that I feel comfortable with. But I'm getting my ass handed to me. Well, you know, sometimes I'll make the change anyway. I'll be like, you know what, mentally, I'm not there 100% with this gun. Let me try another gun. It's kind of like you starting the game over. It's kind of like a refresher. It's kind of like a brand new start halfway through the game. It's like, okay, well, I did really bad with that gun, but now I got this gun. Let's see if you could stop me now. And sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. If they won't, though, it's a good adjustment right there. Sometimes, you know, it's a placebo effect kind of deal, what I'm talking about right now. You know, it's something that it makes no logical sense that that'll make a difference, but it does. And trust me, sometimes you want to do that. Sometimes it's mental, sometimes it is physical, sometimes, you know, changing to that weapon will suit the playstyle. That's something you got to take into account of. It's something you can't be scared of. You know, there's nothing, I think it's a big perception of that, especially when I play with my friends. I'm like, dude, like, I hear a lot. For example, I had a buddy of mine the other day who was playing with a Peacekeeper. Now, I ain't going to drop no names right here, but I had a buddy on my show who was playing with a Peacekeeper. And he was like, I don't understand. It's not registering any bullets. It's not working. It's just like I'm shooting blanks. It's blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, if the Peacekeeper ain't working, go to something else. What other classes do you have? Oh, I got a Scar. All right, go to the Scar. Get the Scar try. Nah, man, screw that, dude. This Peacekeeper should work. Okay. Well, no. I mean, if it's clearly not working, it's not all of a sudden going to start working. You know, things don't change unless there's other X factors that change in the game. Unless, for example, you get a better spawn and you sneak up behind them. Or, you know, unless there's some other game breaker, the gun itself isn't all of a sudden going to change and start acting differently. If you felt it wasn't acting well, it's now all of a sudden just going to be like, oh, okay, well, you died 13 times in a row? Cool. Now is when I start kicking in. Now is when I start working. That's the key to the Peacekeeper. You got to die 13 times in a row before. No. It doesn't work like that. So keep that in mind, man. When the next time you're having a bad game or something, switch it up, man. Switch it up just to switch it up's sake. Switch it up to try to match up with the enemy. Switch it up to try to match up, you know, with the game mode. Switch it up to try to match up with the kill streak going along. You never know, man. You got to change it up. When things aren't going too well, don't be scared to change it up. Don't be scared to move some things that you normally wouldn't do if things were going well. Now, let me also talk to you. I got a couple minutes. I got about a minute left here in the video. Manic Monday, man. I want to make sure I make this guy clear to you guys. Manic Monday, basically, I take on Friday. You tell you guys to drop down a class below. Any game mode, any game type, anything. It doesn't matter. As long as it's Black Ops 2, I don't really care. We've had changes in sensitivity. We had all this nonsense go on. We had good classes. We had bad classes. I'm going to jot down this week's Manic Monday below so you can check it out, what I'm talking about. But basically, just throw it down in the comments below. Now, normally it's not like I pick class Friday and then I roll with it the next Monday. I just don't got, with work and everything, I can't be doing that kind of turnover. So normally I take like a week, to do it. And also I have so many suggestions. I kind of just throw them in a hat, and whatever comes out, comes out. So don't be scared to jot it down on here, and I'll look at them. I always look at them. Next time I pick out the hat, I'll throw all of them in there, and whatever happens, happens. So jot them down below. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Much appreciate the support and the love, everybody. It is your boy Marcos. It's a hot summer. Deuces.